War Powers Act. That's unconstitutional. The War Powers Act cannot be put above Congress. Congress declares wars, not a War Powers Act. You know, the president cannot take a War Powers Act and go to war anywhere in the world that he wants.
Like Trump just did.
Pardon me?
Just like Trump just did.
Yeah, well, not just Trump, Biden's done it,
I mean,
Bush has done it.
As an example,
Yeah,
just like
exactly.
Trump just did.
Yeah, so anyways, here we have the executive orders and we have the War Powers Act and we have three major acts that's been violated by Donald Trump, but he's not the only one. I mean, they've all done it. That's why I call it the uniparty. We got two parties working for the same goal in America, and the thing that they want to accomplish first and foremost is division. If you turn the TV on, I don't care what news channel you go to, news source you go to, they're bashing the Republican Party or the Democrat Party. You turn over to the next channel, they're doing just the opposite. It's all about division, and it's not just in the media. It's from DC all the way down to city government. That's where we're at on that. So I mean, until people get it figured out that the only way we're going to win this battle isn't Republican Democrat. The only way we're going to win this battle is unite. We got to unite or we will fall, and that's what we're doing right now. You know, our debt $40 trillion. You know.
Another question. Bear arms.
Who?
You said bear arms.
Bear arms. Yep.
Right. Mr. Fortner is correct on that, because under the Wyoming state statute, which you want to get thrown out, there are people in this state that cannot bear or own or possess a firearm. But the Wyoming statute does not define it. This right here is a lethal weapon.
Yeah.
This is forbidden by felons to carry, and they do it all day long. So we're not, so we are not abiding by our Constitution in this state, because this is expressly prohibited by felons to carry.
I think it was the fourth reason that the framers decided to go to war against England, and I think it was the fourth petition or fourth grievance filed against the king, and I think it was taxation without representation. It was a huge one for the framers that fought the Revolutionary War, and by cutting off people, cutting them out, not letting them register and vote, that's as big a violation as you can have in America. And that's what they're doing to felons. And it's not felons, there's other groups that they sectored off too, you know. But, so anyways, what's going on in America right now is way beyond criminal for what we're doing. And people don't want to recognize it. They don't want to recognize it at the local level, they don't want to recognize it at the state level or the federal level. Matter of fact, when you go to the federal level, our federal officials, House and Senate in DC, in Wyoming this last 4 years have all taken APAC money. Illegal federal lobby or illegal world lobbying money from Israel. And whether you like Israel or you don't like Israel, that's beside the point. Both presidents, this is an example I want to use, both presidents, Republican and Democrat, both presidents financed genocide in Palestine. Whether you like it or not. That's what's happening.
So did the UN. Next question. You said go to Cheyenne and repeal unconstitutional laws.
Yep.
How do you feel about property taxes?
Well, believe it or not, property taxes are in the Constitution. They allow for property to be taxed in the Constitution at the state level. But what they don't allow is they don't allow states to take more than what they need. States can only tax on what they need, not what they want. So what we got in Wyoming is we got such abundance of taxes at all levels of government, city, county, and state, that they've got so bold they went out and established savings and investment accounts, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars worth, billions of dollars in Cheyenne, And then they hide a lot of these accounts from the people through the Transparency Act. Matter of fact, in Cheyenne over the last 4 years, we went backwards on Article 4 instead of forwards by hiding information from the citizens when they do a public information request. I'll give you a good example of that. 4 years ago, Jacob did an information request to find out what they were spending on credit cards in the county. Well, 2 years after that, they restricted us down to 2 years worth of requests, which said, well, our computer got messed up. No, that ain't true. Down in Cheyenne, they passed a law. I got a copy of the law in my archive, which is a trash can about this big, full of state laws in Wyoming. They passed a law restricting the data. I got on the Wyoming website for Cheyenne, and I looked up Bill Fortner, and it says no information. 2 years, they take that information and they hide it. Now you can they can get on hold of LSO and they say, well, you go to the archives office and they can get that for you. But most of the time they can't find it. Oh, well, we can't find it. So what we've done is we've joined forces with the outside group that come to Wyoming about 3-4 years ago to steal your data and track you. So we're right in line with these data centers. We're in harmony with them. And first thing we need to do is we need to pass a oath of violation or oath of office violation, transparency, or law that says if you go down there and you take an oath to the office and you violate it on purpose, then you're going to be removed. That's the best way to stop it. But I don't know if we can get it passed with the people we have down there right now and who becomes the governor, you know. I don't know. That's how I'm going to play into the big picture. But we got to do something, you know. If you want to amend the Constitution, do an Article 5 Convention of the States. That's the only way you can amend the Constitution. You can't amend it any other way. There's no other process set to amend the Constitution. If you want to change abortion laws, then that's the process you have to use. You can't do it at the state level, because if you do that, you're bridging the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, which gives, well, I can read it to you real fast if you want me to. Says Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. So basically that's separation between church and state right there. And the reason they done that is because when the framers settled this country, there was back in 1776 on, after they had the Revolutionary War, there was multiple fractions of religion in America. And there's those has compounded by probably 100 times. There's 370 known religions, primary religions in America today. So and each one of them view abortion and morals and ethics. That's why you never find that in the Constitution, morals and ethics. You don't find that nowhere in the Constitution. And the reason you don't is because of this First Amendment clause right here. That's why you don't find it in here. So if you want to change that, do an Article 5 Convention of States and change it. That's the only process you have.
Anybody else have any questions? Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.